agree with Dr. Amen, who said, positive thinking says I can eat this third piece of cheesecake and it won't have any negative impact on me. The happy-go-lucky people tend to live the shortest lives. I'm a fan of realistic thinking with a positive spin. With that said, I actually am a firm believer in affirmations. Not only that they can be true, but that they work if you do them right. So what is a good way to do affirmations? From my experience, affirmations do not work if you just say them out loud. It helps for a little while. I actually had an experience in high school where I made affirmations and I would go running every morning and I would say these affirmations for 10 minutes straight. And I had little sticky notes everywhere on my folders and my doorknobs and my mirrors that said things like, I am the best runner in the state, I am incredibly fast, I'm getting faster every day, and they were really good affirmations. But as soon as I stopped saying them, they stopped working. I got really sick, I stopped going on my morning runs, I just kind of fell off the boat there. For a while though, when I was saying the affirmations, I was the best runner in the state. I was beating everybody. And towards the end of the season, I struggled and I didn't quite make it as I had hoped. There's actually a chapter in a book about that called The Only Pirate at the Party by Lindsay Stirling and Brooke S. Passy. And it highlights that particular year where I was doing really well and then just kind of flopped at the end. So in that respect, affirmations only work as long as you're doing them. Now, what I do now, knowing what I know now, is you have to do an affirmation with feeling behind it, energy and meditation, in a kind of a meditations type way where you imagine yourself being that person, you feel yourself being that person, and you become that person. But it's not just saying the things out loud. They can work, but you've got to have the feeling behind the affirmation. And the key here is that it's not just saying it and being done with it, but you have to focus on the affirmation and the way that you feel, and possibly, if you can, what it looks like in your mind for 20 seconds or more, because it takes 20 seconds for a new neural pathway to start developing. You've got neural pathways, these highway systems in your brain that automatically probably go to some negative thinking. If you're here and you're struggling with depression, that's probably what's happening. In order to create new neural pathways, a new way for that traffic to go, automatically in the future, you have to focus on a positive affirmation for at least 20 seconds. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, when I make up these affirmations, things I want to be, they feel like a lie. And I can sympathize with that. If you're feeling depressed and you're saying an affirmation that I am happy and joyful in my daily life, it might feel like, no, I'm not. But here's the thing. If you can harness a memory from your past, a time when you felt joyful, and if you're having trouble with that, like if you really are struggling to find any time in your life when you found joy, try to feel in proxy. If you can harness a moment where you saw someone else feeling joy, and you know what that looks like, and you want to know what that feels like, you can start there. But you really do want to try to harness that feeling, and also just the whole body experience. And when you say, I am feeling joyful and happy in my daily life, in that moment when you're feeling that and experiencing that, either vicariously or in your own body, that is true. And you have to know that everything that has built the depression or the mental disorder that you have is built on lies. And that the you behind those lies is happy and joyful in their daily life. And that is true. So try to get past this idea that you're lying when you say affirmations out loud. Again, in the moment that you are feeling it, you're saying, me here and now, I am joyful and happy in my daily life. And moving forward, this is what I strive to be every day. It's kind of like an athlete saying, I'm going to win this race. Now, is there a guarantee that athlete's going to win that race? Maybe not, but they're going to have their best possible chance if they believe 100% in their capabilities and power to do so. Going through life depressed or with any other anxiety or mental disorder is kind of like going through life with blinders on or driving a car with a bandana around your eyes. It's messy. You can't possibly see straight or enough or even have the courage to turn the car on and move at all because, well, what if you hit something, right? So we've got to get these blinders off. That is the goal of this program. I have a friend, his name is Andrew McKee, andrewmckeecoach.com. If you're interested in working with him, he's excellent. He told me a story about a client of his who couldn't even leave the house. He had so much anxiety that he was scared to go anywhere, do anything. He just stayed in his room all the time. I think he lived with his mom. And Andrew worked with him and made him make a list that basically itemized all the things he currently did, which was stay home, I play video games, all these things. And he rephrased them so that it said, I used to stay home all day. I used to play video games, but now I drive to the store and buy groceries. Or now I go to the park and meet new people. And I think it was a pretty extensive list, maybe 100 long. I don't remember. And I remember my friend, though, Andrew, saying that he was floored the next day when I think he was supposed to meet with this client by Zoom. And the client actually showed up at his house, drove himself to Andrew's home for his next appointment. And he had already decided that was the old version of him, things he used to do, and now he was living the life that he wanted. That was a very powerful exercise for him. I would encourage you to do the same. Make a list of things I used to, things that you're maybe doing right now or you have in your past that you want to make a part of your past. And now what you do differently, what you want to do differently, and what you're choosing to do differently moving forward. As for specific affirmations, it is important, or at least helpful, to make them really specific. It's also helpful to be careful how you word your affirmation. For example, you don't want to say, I no longer want to be poor, or I'm no longer going to be poor, because that's putting the idea that I am poor. That's what you're hearing in your mind. And so instead, you're going to want to say, I am rich. I am living a wealthy lifestyle, whatever it is that you want to attract. I am going to purchase a beautiful home soon. Another really bad example of an affirmation would be, I am done with toxic relationships. Because again, it emphasizes toxic relationships. Instead, you want to say, I am attracting healthy, amazing relationships. A good way to go about doing affirmations is to set alarms on your phone. Pick a few that you really like and say them aloud several times a day. I would encourage you to pick 6 affirmations. If you do 20 seconds apiece, that's 2 minutes, and do them 5 times a day. That will be a total of 10 minutes. I think most people can handle this. So what I would do is set an alarm on your phone, have the affirmations ready on your phone in a note or something that's readily accessible. You could also put them on sticky notes around your house, places you'll see them. You are absolutely welcome to do them more than 5 times a day. The more, the better, but at least 5 times a day where you are focused for 2 minutes, 20 seconds each, where you're feeling the affirmation, you're imagining the affirmation, you are being the affirmation. It's so important. It has to be at least 20 seconds. It's also really important to read the affirmation out loud. If that's not possible, you're in a work environment or so forth where that's not going to be possible in that environment, then do the best you can. Do it when you go to the bathroom or any place where you have the ability to say these things out loud, because it really does make a difference. And with passion behind it, at least try. You might feel like you're acting for a while, and that's okay. Eventually, the acting, the feeling behind the acting, because a good actor, they don't just say the lines, they don't just act the way, they feel it in their soul. If they're the bad guy, they are mean, they are the bad guy, and they feel like the bad guy. Some people who've played bad guys in movies have had psychological problems afterwards because they had to really embrace that character, and it's maybe been hard for them to unattach from. So I wouldn't recommend that, but identifying with the the amazing human that you're going to be, the perfect actor for that particular role. I just want to offer an encouraging reminder that if you are struggling with depression or anxiety, the things that you currently believe are probably blown up like this a massive monster, but are really about as small as an ant. In your mind, they seem big, but a lie. You are not what you think you are. You are not who you think you are. And the affirmations are designed to bring you to your true power and your true purpose and your true identity that you are working towards and you will continue to work towards throughout your entire life, as we've talked about before. Overcoming depression is really like fighting battles that will ultimately win a war. As Abraham Lincoln said, "All persons held as slaves shall thenceforward, and forever be free." That is what I want for you. We want emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical freedom. And that is what we are set out to do here on this program. Thank you again for spending time with me today. I'm your host, Jennifer Stirling-Campbell, and you're listening to the Overcome Depression podcast. If you are new to this podcast, please go watch all of the hashtag introduction videos first, and then consider downloading the Overcome Depression workbook. Links in the description. The content in this podcast is based on my own personal beliefs, is for informational purposes only, and is not intended to substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please refer to the full legal disclaimer in the description.